Hey man, how you doing? All right. You know what we out here teaching, right? We be teaching that
Come on around that way,
us
kid.
blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, we teach that we God chosen people. And right now we're at the bottom of society because we have been breaking the Most High's laws. So by us breaking His laws that we promised that we was gonna keep, He has turned out His back on us, and that's why we are living the way you see us living. And not that we are dumb, ignorant, or stupid. It's just the fact that when God says something, He's not a man that lies. So if He says, y'all break my commandments, I'm gonna do the do with y'all, and we break His commandments, He gonna do the do with us. And right now you're seeing a bunch of blacks, Hispanic, and Native Americans walk around that is having the do done to them right now. But the brother gonna edify you if you don't mind listening. Edify means he gonna teach you something that you need to know that's worth knowing. Okay.
All praise, all praise. Appreciate you coming up, King. Anyway,
Give me a second. I'm gonna make sure this mic hitting right.
all right. Let me get Isaiah chapter 58, verse 1.
Yes, sir.
Isaiah chapter 58, verse 1. By the way, for our brothers and sisters that are out here today, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we are out here to wake you up to let you know exactly who you are according to the scriptures, to the Bible. Because we all went to church, we all went to school throughout history, but we do not know who we are. We label ourselves as what, bro? If I asked you, who are we as a people, what would you say? What do we call ourselves? What would you check off on an application at work?
If you ask them his race.
Who? African American. What else? What are some other names that we would label ourselves as?
Negro,
Blacks,
Negro,
Negroes, colored. You know what I'm saying? That ain't nowhere in the Bible though. We all read the Bible. We all go to church. We've been hopping and skipping for years and centuries, but that ain't nowhere in the scripture. So why do we call ourselves these things? Because we don't know what's going on right now. We've been following our oppressor. Now, do you agree that our people are oppressed? You agree? You right. We serving our enemies. But the question I want to ask you is why? Why, as a nation of people, so-called blacks, Hispanic, why are we serving our enemies? Why we gotta wake up and go clock in at their businesses? Why they ain't coming to clock in for us? Why we ain't learning our history in school? I mean, what history do we have before the slave ship? You know, bro? Bro, right there with the blue hat on. You know why we gotta serve our enemies? You know why we as a people gotta serve our enemies? You don't talk to them? So you go to work for your own people? You pay taxes to your own people? You do? You pay taxes to our people. Where is that at? I want to know. Because all of our people pay taxes to the so-called white man, Uncle Sam. Letting you know that we're in captivity when you got to pay taxes to somebody else. And that's in the Bible that our people don't know nothing about. Give me that in Baruch 3 and 8. Baruch 3 and 8. I'm going to show you that we are not free, even though it might seem like we're free. We might be able to walk down the street, go eat what we want to. But the Lord said that we as a people, we are not free. And it's a reason behind that, and we're going to get to it. Bring it out.
The book of Baruch, chapter 3, verse 8.
Bring it out loud.
Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity. We are what? We are yet this day in our captivity.
The Lord said we are yet this day in our captivity. Oppression. Read. Read it.
Okay. Where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord our God.
You see that? So we are still in captivity today. The same thing that we read about or celebrate in February when we were getting our backs beat, getting off them slave ships, walking down the street, marching down the street, voting to be civil, to be treated as humans. All of this is in the Bible. The Lord said we are, let me turn it on. The Lord said that we are still in captivity today, paying taxes to our oppressors, to our enemies. But the main reason we in this thing is because it said, because we what? Read that again. Read it again.
Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, Well, thou hast scattered us for a reproach.
The Lord scattered us. That's what we need to understand, so-called black man, black woman. The Lord scattered us. He put us on them slave ships. Read.
For a reproach.
And what?
For a reproach.
For a punishment. Read.
And a curse. And to be subject to payments.
To be subject to payments. That's why we got to pay for everything. They take money out your check before you get it. When you buy something, you get taxed, and then they want you to pay taxes on everything else at the end of the year. Read.
According to all the iniquities.
All the what?
All the iniquities.
All of the sins of who?
Of our fathers.
Of our forefathers. That's why we got to go through the punishments and the curses and the oppression that we go through today. Because our forefathers broke God's commandments. Think about it. Everybody out here grew up in a household. And that household had rules to follow. And when you did not follow the rules, what happened? You got punished. So this is the Most High's world, his home. He put us in there as his children, and he told us, these are the rules that I want you to follow. When you follow these rules, you will be rewarded, blessed. He said, I will set you on high above all nations of people. But the minute that you break my commandments, my rules in my house, I'm going to curse you. I'm going to punish you. And that's exactly what's going on with our people today. That's why we don't know who we are. That's why we're on the bottom of society. That's why we killing each other, gunning each other down. Even though the other nations are doing it, the police killing us. Guess what? We killing each other more than they are. And that's all biblical. But we do not know these things because we have been turned away from our heritage. It has been stripped from us. Why do you think they only teach us history starting at the slave ship? Where were we at before? What were we doing when they came to get us, to put us on them slave ships? Why we don't know that history? Your enemy don't want you to know who you were. They don't want you to know how great you are or how great we are as a people. They don't want you to know that the Lord God of Israel is your God and your God only. Right. They got you believing in a white Jesus. That ain't nowhere in the Bible. But you got that image in your head when you get on your knees and pray. You putting your hands together over your plate before you eat, praising and thinking of a white man. That ain't nowhere in the Bible. But when you read the Bible condemns the so-called white man. Even though our people will fight for the white man, they won't fight for their own people. They'll fight for oppression. But the Lord commands through his scriptures for us to come out to the highways and byways and wake our people up. Give me Isaiah 58:1.
Yes, sir.
He commands his servants to go out to the highways and byways and teach his people and wake them up. Because he stripped us of our heritage for our disobedience. The same way your parents stripped you of the things that you liked and loved when you were growing up. You learned to watch TV. When you did what they told you not to do, they took that TV from you. They took what you liked. They took the glory from you. The same way the Lord took it from us. What are we doing here in this land? We chasing riches, fame, and glory. We had all that. We used to rule this earth. But when we got to feeling ourselves and we were rebellious, what the Lord do? He snatched it from us. The same way you couldn't leave that room when you were young on punishment, that's what the Lord did to us. He sent us into captivity. And we can't leave even if we want to. We got to get their permission. We need a passport to leave the country. That's their permission. Same way you used to ask your parents for permission to leave the room. Being punished. Bring that out right quick. Isaiah 58:1.
Book of Isaiah chapter 58 verse 1. Cry aloud.
Say what?
Cry aloud.
The Lord said, cry aloud.
Read, spare not.
Spare not your feelings. Read.
Lift up thy voice like a trumpet.
Lift up our voices like a trumpet because our people love to hear this.
And
they need to hear this.
And show my people.
And do what?
And show my people.
Nah, show our people.
And show my people.
The Lord said, and show my people. Show them what?
Their transgression.
Their sins, where they going on, where they falling short. And lift up your voice and show my people where they going on. Bring them back into the fold. Wake them the hell up. So they realize what's actually going on. Because they've been blinded by what's on the TV, what's on social media, what's in the music, what's in the magazines, what they're being taught at school by their oppressor, by their enemy, and they don't know what's going on. Their whole mindset is just to get up every day to chase after money. And it still got the enemy face on it. Meanwhile, your enemy is lying to you day in and day out, killing you. spiritually, mentally, physically, and financially. And you don't even realize it because you're in a dream world, chasing that so-called American dream. And as the statement goes, you have to be asleep in order to dream. And that's what a lot of our people are doing. Give me Isaiah 52:1. Isaiah 52:1. That's why when you go to the church, they tell you, hey, we ain't in the Old Testament no more. We in the New Testament. You don't know what's in the Old, so how can you perform the right way? All the meat is in the beginning.
Bring it out.
That's your history.
Bring it out.
Where you came from, your greatness. Where you going? All of that is in the scriptures that you don't read. You have no knowledge of it, but you fight for your oppressor. Bring it out.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 52, verse 1.
Bring it out.
Awake, awake.
What the Lord say?
Awake, awake.
The Lord said, awake. Awake. Read.
Put on thy strength, O Zion.
Put on your strength, O Zion. That's why when you go over there by the airport, not the airport, behind Walmart, they got that street, Zion Street, Zion Boulevard, Zion Garden. We are Zion, right? Read that again from the top.
Awake, awake. Put on thy strength, O Zion.
Even in that movie, The Matrix, what was the promised land? Where was the city that everybody was at? Zion, right? The Lord said, awake, awake, O Zion. Read.
Put on thy beautiful garments.
Put on your beautiful garments, not what the enemy has told you. Put on your beautiful garments. Our women are supposed to be in modesty. We have fallen away from our heritage. We don't know what beauty is. We do not know what beauty is, what true beauty is. We have fallen from what the enemy has taught us. Therefore, we hate our own original natural image. And we have fallen for everything that they put out there for us to buy. We don't know what true beauty is. That's why the Lord said, awake, awake. Put on thy beautiful garments, O Zion. Read.
Put on thy beautiful garments, O Jerusalem.
O Jerusalem. That's us. Read.
The holy city. For henceforth there shall no more come into thee the uncircumcised and the unclean.
The Lord said, wake up, so that the uncircumcised and the unclean don't come between you anymore. The unclean is these other nations, the doctrines, the education that they teach us. All they do is teach us lies. Everybody out there know about the presidents, but you don't know nothing about the kings of Israel, about your people. When we were in rulership, where we ruled, how long we ruled, what caused us to fall. You don't know these things. Your enemy is hiding your truth from you. Read verse 2.
Verse 2. Shake thyself from the dust.
Do what?
Shake thyself from the dust.
The Lord said, wake up and shake yourself from the dust. You've been down on the bottom of society for so long, you think you're supposed to be there. You think that we are supposed to be on the bottom. That is not what the Lord created you to do, or for us to be in that situation. We're supposed to be ruling this world. But how far have we fallen? Not knowing what we're supposed to be doing, who is our Lord, where we come from, none of that. Give me Isaiah 1 and 3 right quick.
Yes, sir.
We do not know what's going on. This is why the Lord is sending his prophets out all around the world, waking our people up, day in and day out. It's not just us, it's just two people right now. But there's other brothers in this exact city doing the same job. Bring it up.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 1, verse 3. The ox knoweth his owner.
The what?
The ox knoweth his owner.
The Lord said an ox know who he belongs to. Read.
And the ass his master's crib.
And the ass, the donkey, know where he belongs, where he come from. Read.
But Israel,
but who?
But Israel,
the 12 tribes of Israel, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American, read,
does not know.
We do not know, and
my people does not consider.
And we don't even consider where we come from. We out here killing each other for blocks that we don't own, right? For colors that we don't own, right? We doing all this foolishness and don't even know who we belong to or where we come from. That's what you call a lost people right there. Read on.
Verse 4. You want 4?
Yeah, read on.
A sinful nation.
We are what?
A sinful nation.
A sinful nation. Slow, okay? Read.
A people laden with iniquity.
We are laden with iniquity, with sin. The same way you pour gravy on top of that country fried steak. The same way we are dripped and got that sin poured on us. That's all we know. Read it again from the top.
A sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity.
Read.
A seed of evildoers.
What?
A seed of evildoers.
Now the Lord created us to be righteous. But because we fell so low, now we in a state of mind where we are nothing but evildoers. All we know how to do is get over on each other, how to kill each other. We don't help each other out. We don't build together. There's no unity among us. Bring it out. What's going on, King? Read.
Children that are corrupters.
Children that are corrupters. Children don't have no respect for the elders no more. They have no respect for authority anymore. Because the fathers are not in the household. The father sets the tone. He sets the foundation for the family to be built on.
Right.
But if it ain't no father there, guess what? Ain't no structure there. Everything is out of order. Just like this earth is out of order. Read.
They have forsaken the Lord.
They have what?
They have forsaken the Lord.
Meaning they have forgotten the Lord. We don't know that he is our God. He fights for us. If we were doing what he told us to do, guess what? It would be fighting for us, not against us. But because we don't know that he's for us, we doing everything that he told us not to do. And guess who's leading that march or that charge? Your enemy. That's why they tell you that the commandments of God are done away with. They want the Most High to keep punishing us. Because when you read the scriptures, it says that when we don't keep the commandments, he will set these other nations on top of us to rule over us. When we do not keep his commandments, they will punish us. Think about that. Give me Hosea 5:15. When we do not keep his commandments, follow his rules, his instruction, he will punish us. The same way you will punish your own children. The same way you were punished when you came up. It's no different. It's not complex. It's not hard. Everything is simple. The simplicity of Christ, Yahushua, is in the Bible, but our people choose not to read, or we are not just being taught this information, period. Read that one more time.
Yes, sir. What was it? Isaiah
1:4.
1:4.
So because we don't get this knowledge, because we don't get the truth, the true understanding as to what's written, to who we are, our history, our background, our future, our present time, we have become a nation of evildoers, a sinful nation. It done got so bad where we don't even think we're a nation of people. We call ourselves Americans.
Right.
But we all know that other people were here before they even got here. But we call ourselves Americans. African American at that. Don't even know what that term means, but we label ourselves with that.
Two different nations.
Think about that. Because you would say, well, we was in Africa and they brought us over here to America. That's why we African American. But if you take a Chinese man or an East Indian man and he was born and raised in Africa and he moves over here to America and get his citizenship, you still ain't gonna call him an African American. You gonna call him an East Indian or you gonna call him a Chinese man. Why is it that we got this label on us? Nobody questions it. We call ourselves black. What does that mean? When you look it up, it's a derogatory term. They showed you that in the movie Malcolm X when you look it up. It says you're filthy, scum, dark, filthy. All these different things come from that one word black, but we label it or have been labeled as black and we run with it. Black and I'm proud. No. You're an Israelite according to the Bible.
That's right.
It's power behind that. Black don't mean nothing. African American don't mean nothing. Because Africa was actually named after a Roman general. Leo Scipio Africanus. America was named after Amerigo Vespucci. African American. Two different white men. Two different continents. So why do you label yourself that? That don't make no sense. But we got to get our minds right. We got to admit our faults. Just like you had to growing up. When you made mistakes in your own household, you had to apologize to your parents to get off that punishment. You had to straighten yourself out. Get your mind together. That's the same thing the Lord requires of us today. Read that. Hosea 5:15.
This is the book of Hosea 5:15. I will go and I will return to my place. Till they acknowledge their offense.
Till we what?
Till they acknowledge their offense.
The same way our parents dealt with us. They gonna put us on punishment. They don't care how much we cry, whine, and do all this and that. Until we admit our faults, he ain't listening to us, just like our parents weren't. Read.
and seek my face.
Until what?
Until they acknowledge their offense and seek my face.
Acknowledge our offenses. The same thing when you got an addiction. In order to get help, you got to do what? You got to admit you got a problem in order to get that help. If you in denial, nah, that ain't me, I ain't do that. How can somebody help you? Think about it. You got to acknowledge your fault, just like the Lord requires of us. If we want to make change, we got to acknowledge our faults. Otherwise, he's going to turn his back and keep going. Read.
In their affliction, they will seek me early.
The Lord said, in their affliction, when they start going through their problems, they can't pay their rent, they can't find a job, they can't feed themselves. When they in their affliction, they will what?
They will seek me early.
Then we gonna call on the Lord. But we ain't calling on him when we wake up in the morning. When he giving you the strength and energy to walk down the street, giving you something to eat, blessing you to see your family, to have all your limbs, to be in good health. You ain't blessing them then. But if somebody dropped $20, you find there, good Lord, the Lord is with me. You blessing them then. The Lord said in your afflictions, that's how he set it up. In your tough times, your trials and tribulations, then you gonna call on him. When the boys in blue behind you, when you smoking this and popping that, when they jump behind you, now you call on the Lord, please help me, save me. Let me go this time, I promise. It won't happen no more. When she got you in that courtroom, trying to get in your pockets, now you calling on the Lord. Think about these things. The Lord said, in your affliction, man, he gonna set it up that way. He gonna set it up where we have to call on him and admit our faults, and then straighten ourselves out. That's what the grace period is all about. It ain't about go out there and do what the hell you want to do. No, it's a time frame for you to get yourself together. Just like in this society that we live in. If you can't pay your rent on the 1st, you get a grace period. They might say, hey, pay it on the 7th. You might even have to pay a late fee. But that don't mean you ain't got to pay it. You just got a time frame to get yourself together to get it paid. Same principle. But our people are not being taught that. We thinking we under grace, we can do what the hell we want to do. And that's why our people, our nation, our societies and communities are in shambles right now, being destroyed. Because we ain't being taught nothing. We go to school for 12 years, don't learn nothing. We get out there into the world and be employees, be oppressed, still don't know how to live, still don't know how to raise a family, still don't know how to be real men, how to be husbands. We don't know these things because it ain't being taught. Why do you think that is? Why do you think that is? It's a reason behind everything. Your enemy knows. He studies us. Clone and Tyrone showed you that. They showed you that they studying you. But our people will never understand. Give me Hosea 4:6. That's why the Lord said, go out to the highways and byways. Go in the streets where my people at and give them this good news. Wake them up so they can make change. So they can put them damn phones down and stop being blinded and manipulated. So they can stop walking around like zombies. The living dead. Give me Baruch chapter 4. Bring it up.
This is Hosea chapter 4, verse 6. My people.
What the Lord say?
My people.
He ain't say all people. He keeps saying my people. That's possessive right there. He's showing ownership. Read.
Are destroyed.
Are what?
Are destroyed.
For what?
For lack of knowledge.
For a lack of knowledge. That's why we destroyed. That's why we can't get ahead. We ain't got the right knowledge. We in there buying their books, going on their website, following and buying and following behind everything that they teach us. But yet and still, we still destroyed. We ain't making no change. We ain't ruling over nothing. Even though we the greatest people on the earth, we ain't ruling over nothing. How is that possible? We still begging for them to give us jobs. We still begging for them to help us with a helping hand. To let us stay in their house, in their neighborhood. To go to their school and pay you to go there to be lied to. We still asking them for handouts. When we gonna start ruling something? The blueprint has already been laid. All we gotta do is follow it. You know?
Because thou hast rejected knowledge.
Because what?
Thou hast rejected knowledge.
Because we reject knowledge. We out here telling you the good news. We telling you, you great, son. We telling you the best people on the earth. And our people still don't want to hear it. They think we talking lies out here, just running our lips, bumping our gums. Everybody should be standing up right now, clapping their hands like, yes, this is what I needed. But we still lacking around, walking around sluggish as hell, like, it sound good. It's some entertainment while I wait. It sound good. I ain't ready to make no change yet. The Lord said, because we are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Read it again.
Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee.
You see that the Lord said, I'm going to reject you because you reject who you are, who I created you to be. I created you to be the greatest people on the earth, to be me on earth. My children, my seed, the sons of God. But you say, I want to be an African American, I want to be a nigga, I want to be a thot, I want to be a thug, a savage. I want to kill my brother and love my enemy. Kill my own people and love my enemy. That's foolishness. That's all you see on TV. That's all you hear in the music. And you know that your enemy is behind it. But yet and still, we ain't making no change. We ain't making no change. When we gonna stand up and fight for something that actually matters? Bringing your people back together. Giving them truth, giving them knowledge, giving them understanding. Besides putting a bullet in their back or in their brain. Putting dope in their hand, in their veins, in their nose. Putting bottles in their hand to get them drunk and toe out the frame. When we gonna really start fighting for something that matters? Everybody out here know in order for us to win, we gotta unify. When we gonna come together is the question. The Bible, your history book, is how we do it. The Lord said, gather yourselves together. When we gonna start doing these things besides at funerals and family reunions? When we gonna gather ourselves together in righteousness? Start standing on something that means something. Everybody run around talking about I'm standing on business. Stand for your people. Stand on righteousness. Stand on something that's actually going to help build and change the future for your people. Stand for something that you actually want in life. You don't want to walk down the street and have them be a fear of your own people gunning you down and robbing you. You want to live in a life or a society where it's peace and love, where your people will see you and speak to you. How many of us will walk past each other and won't even speak? That's how destroyed we are as a nation of people. But you'll walk past your own people, head down, and walk past and see the so-called white man, Chinese man, whoever, or the other nation. You'll smile in their face, high-five them and everything. Open the door, hold it for them, but your own people, you put your head down.
Appreciate it, bro.
That's how far we have fallen. Bring it up.
Book of Zephaniah, chapter 2, verse 1. Gather yourself together. Yea, gather together. O nation not desired. 5. Oh, you put your read it again. Gather yourself together. Yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
The Lord said, wake up and gather yourselves together. Gather yourselves together. Stop being divided and destroyed by listening to your enemies.
Right.
That makes no sense. How can you possibly unify by listening to the enemy that's constantly trying to destroy you? We don't actually believe we got enemies unless somebody's sticking a gun in our face. Your enemy set up the worst grocery stores in your neighborhood. The worst restaurants in your neighborhood. Your enemy passed laws to allow another man to sleep with another man. Let women lay down and marry other women. Your enemy did that. That ain't scripture. That ain't biblical. That ain't righteousness.
Right.
Your enemy is doing all of this. Your enemy is the one that's running these record labels. He's the one that say what goes out and what goes in. He is the one in control of the music that's manipulating the minds of your children. Of us when we came up. Your enemy is in control. They run Hollywood. They put what they want on the TV screen. Right. Think about it. Think about what I'm talking about. Your enemy is in control. Why? Because we don't want to keep God's commandments. It's simple. Bring it out.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 1, verse 20. Well, verse 24. Salaki, verse 23. Turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make known my words unto you.
The Lord said, I'm going to make my words known unto you. How? Through his prophets, through his servants. They going out to the highways and byways, waking you up, telling you to awake, right? Out of sleep. Read out.
Because I have called, and ye refuse. I have stretched out my hand, and no man regarded.
No man regarding. Nobody listening. Nobody paying attention. Oh, it's only when we actually get jammed up when we decide to sit down and start thinking. The boys in blue, they lock you up, send you down the road where you got to sit down. Then you want to start listening. When you got an opportunity right now while you're out, so-called free, we're able to walk around in captivity. He's giving you a chance to hear what's going on and make you change your ways. But we saying the hell with that. I still want to be a kid even though I'm 40, 50, 60 years old. I still want to walk around like a kid. I don't want to grow up. You sound like a Toys R Us kid. I don't want to grow up. The Lord trying to grow you up, trying to mature you, to change your mindset so that you can grow and develop your own people. Build your kingdom back up. Build your nation back up. Read.
But you have set at now all my counsel, and none of my reproof.
Read.
I also will laugh at your calamity.
The Lord said, I'm going to laugh at your calamities. Because you didn't want to listen to me when I came trying to give you the word, trying to give you the message, trying to give you the answer to your questions. Because everybody got questions. They want to know what the hell going on. How do I make change? How do I make myself better? What's wrong with my people? The answer is right here in the Bible. That is only written to us. Even though anybody can read it, it's only written to us. The power of the strength is lies in there, and it's for us. But when he come to give you the word, you turn your back on the Lord, said, the hell with them. I'm going to laugh at your calamities. Because when I called, you did not listen. You didn't come. So when your trials and tribulations come, I ain't got time to hear it. That's what the Lord said. Read.
The book of Matthew, chapter 15, verse 24.
Bring it out.
But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
So the Lord is telling you and letting you know that he only came for us. He didn't come for everybody. He came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Lost. We coming out here to help you find out who you are. So you are no longer lost. You are the greatest people on the planet. You ain't going to hear that in them churches you go to. You're not going to hear them in the schools or the colleges that you devote your time to. They'll never tell you that you're great. The jobs that you go to, they will never tell you that you're great as a people. The Lord telling you all throughout the Bible that you're special, that you're holy. You are a peculiar treasure to him, the apple of his eye. He created you. He chose you for a specific reason. Now, you might be looking at life right now and saying, how the hell is that possible? If the Lord loved me, why I got to go through all this? Well, the answer is simple. Because we keep breaking his commandments. We keep going against everything that he's trying to instill in us. The bottom line is, Israelites, we supposed to keep the commandments of God. It's that simple. You don't know what they are, you need to open the book and read it. That's the one thing as a people we don't like to do. We don't like to read. Now we'll read social media all day. We'll read them textbooks that they force us to read in school if we do that. But to read anything about our history, nah, we ain't got time for that. I'm on my way down here right now. I ain't got time for that. I'm on my way down here. I ain't got time for that. The Lord said, read. Blessed is he that readeth. Give me that Revelation 1 and 3. Yes, sir. Blessed is he that readeth. Why do you think the other nations are ahead of us? Because they read. They have read your history. They have read your history, your heritage. And that's how they figured out how to get on top of you. How to keep ruling you. Because they have read your book, your instruction manual. They know what makes you tick. They know why you're failing. And they know how to keep it going. That's why we got to wake our people up in these last days. Bring it up.
Book of Revelation, chapter 1 and verse 3. Blessed is he that readeth.
What the Lord say?
Blessed is he that readeth.
The Lord says you blessed when you read. That's why they got that phrase called, if you want to hide anything from a nigga, put it in a book. Think about that. Think about all the different tactics and rumors that they have used to keep you from reading your own book. We reading everybody else's book, but we don't read our book. What they say, that book was used to enslave us. But this book condemns every nation. Say we gonna rule over them. But you say, or the rumor is, this book was used to enslave us. They say this book was written by the white man, but the Lord said he gonna condemn the white man. He gonna rule over him, have him in captivity, and then he gonna wipe him off the planet. But you'll never know that if you don't read it. You see that? They say King James was a citizen. Prove it. He got laws in here. He didn't write the Bible, he just authorized it, by the way. But his laws in here saying if a man lay down with another man, he's supposed to be put to death. So how can somebody write that and be in that, have that type of mindset? That don't make no sense. Your enemy has come up with all types of strategies, plots, and plans to keep you away from your strength. That's why the Lord told you in Isaiah 52:1 to awake, 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 awake. Awake the hell up so you know what's going on.
Right.
What's going on? Exactly. That's right. That's why we got to work together to wake them back up. Right?
We the only people. We got the most power.
Exactly.
We don't know how to come together.
Why is that though?
Everybody in the competition.
But why are we in competition? Why are we in so much division amongst each other? It's bigger than that.
Money, power.
It's all right here. Because we keep breaking his commandments. And one of the curses in there would say that we would be at odds with each other. Say we would have an evil eye toward one another. That's a curse that he put in there. Part of our history, part of our glory and our heritage was that we had love for each other. When we were in the top tier of the world, when we were in rulership, we loved one another. We would fight for each other. You ever read a story about King Saul and King David? King Saul was trying to kill David, but he never killed Saul, even though he had plenty of opportunities to do so. But when Saul died, when another nation killed this man and came and told David, David said, who the hell told you could touch the Lord's anointed? And he killed that man for killing Saul, even though Saul was trying to kill him. That was true love right there. But we don't know nothing about that. Bring it out. What you got?
This is Deuteronomy. This is the book of Deuteronomy 28, verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate.
Because we had love toward one another. We used to think we thought each other meant something. Read.
His eye shall be evil towards his brother.
Now our eye will be evil toward one another. No longer will we look at each other with love, but now it's hatred. Read.
And toward the wife of his bosom.
Not only toward one another, but toward our women as well. Read.
And toward the remnant of his children, which he shall lead.
And toward our children. That's why our households are single parent household. Over 70% of our households are single parent. That's all biblical. It's no coincidence. It's all biblical. That's a curse that the Most High put on his people for breaking his commandments. You see that? Now everything makes sense. When you look around and you wonder why 7 out of 10 brothers ain't got their pops in their life. Now we all understand why. Because it's biblical. Go to Deuteronomy 28, verse 45. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 45.
Bring it out.
This is the book of Deuteronomy 28, verse 45. Moreover, all these curses.
All what?
All these curses.
All what?
All these curses.
All these curses, read.
Shall come upon thee and shall pursue thee and overtake thee till thou be destroyed.
Till what?
Till thou be destroyed.
So these curses were going to be on us as a nation of people till we are destroyed. The Lord set these curses upon us as a nation. The other nations ain't going through these curses. It's us. We don't.
Because thou hearkens not unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
We don't want to hear his commandments. We don't want to read them, apply them, do none of it. Read.
To keep his commandments.
To what?
To keep his commandments.
We all say, and we ain't keeping the commandments no more. That's something that we say easily. We say that with a bold spirit. Nah, we ain't keeping commandments no more, bro. We passed that. What the commandments gonna do for me? Because we don't keep his commandments, these curses are poured out on us. Read.
and his statutes he commanded thee, and they shall be and they shall be upon thee.
Meaning these curses, they shall what?
They shall be upon thee for a sign.
For a what?
For a sign.
For a what?
For a sign and for a wonder.
So these curses were going to be on who? The Israelites. So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Right. 12 tribes of Israel, we would be under these curses. These curses that are listed in Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15 to 68, identify who we are as a nation of people. Slavery is in the Bible. Us going on into slavery or captivity on them slave ships, that's in the Bible. But we have no idea that happened. When you ask majority of our people, why did we have to go into slavery? You'll say it's because of our skin tone. Because we back. Nah, it's bigger than that. How is it the weakest people on the planet actually was able to come get you from your homeland, put you on a ship, and sail you halfway across the world? They're the weakest people. We the strongest. How were they able to do these things? They were able to control us on a plantation. It's 100 of us, but a family of 10 of them. That can only be done by the Lord. The Lord put the spirit of fear on us to fear our enemies. Since we didn't want to fear him, he said you're going to fear your enemies. Well, you're going to flee 7 ways when they come. Same way we flee, if one police car show up and there's 1,000 of us out there. One police car show up, we all scatter and running. Scared, spooked. One. Bring it out.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 26, verse 2. You shall keep my Sabbaths and reverence my sanctuary. I am the Lord. If you walk in my statutes and keep my commandments and do them, then I will give you rain in due season.
The Lord talking about blessing you right there. When you follow his commandments. That's a few of them. You jump down to verse 14.
Verse 14. But if ye will not hearken unto me and will not do all these commandments.
If we will what?
Will not do all these commandments.
So we about to read what will happen to us if we did not keep his commandments. Read.
And if ye shall despise my statutes, or if your soul abhor my judgments,
read.
So that ye will not do you will not do all my commandments,
read.
But that ye break my covenant, I will also do this unto you. I will even appoint over you terror.
The Lord said what?
I will appoint over you terror.
Friendliness.
Terror.
Blessings.
Terror.
The Lord said, I'm going to appoint terror over you. That's why we get paranoid when the boys in blue get behind us. They ain't even threw the lights on. They ain't even studying you. But because that car got behind you, you got paranoia on you now. You see them walking down the street, walking past you, walking in your neighborhood, you get spooked, scared. The Lord said, I'm going to appoint terror over you because you don't keep my commandments. Read on.
Consumption and the burning ague,
disease,
that shall consume the eyes.
Read.
And cause sorrow of heart.
Sorrow of heart, depression. Read. Suicidal thoughts.
Right. And you shall sow your seed in vain.
Now you sowing your seed in vain. You running around laying down with all these different women having kids, sowing your seed in vain with no intentions on raising a child. Sowing your seed in vain, and even when you got good intentions on raising a child, because of the curses that the Lord put on her, you still ain't able to raise a child the way they were meant to be raised. Now she turning against you, got you going to child support, keeping the child away from you. You sowing your seed in vain. Read.
You shall sow your seed in vain, for your enemies shall eat it.
And you go and plant seeds in your garden on your land, and your enemies gonna eat it up. Think about that. The land that we once owned, we don't own it no more. Our enemies own it. They selling us the wood, the water, and everything that comes from the land. We used to own it all. Now we sowing it in vain. You know?
And I will set my face against you, and you shall be slain before your enemies.
We shall be what?
You shall be slain before your enemies.
That's why you got all them Ahmaud Arbery's. That's why you got Sonya Massey. Slain before your enemies. Video footage. They still ain't did nothing about it. You got your George Floyds. It's so many Tamir Rices. It's so many names I can go on. Lord said you're gonna be slain before your enemies. Give me Ezekiel 23:28.
That they
Read it from the top.
Verse 17. And I will set my face against you, and you shall be slain before your enemies. They that hate you shall.
Say what?
They that hate you.
Say what?
They that hate you.
Say what?
Shall reign over you.
You see there, the Lord said, they that hate you shall reign over you. That's biblical. That's biblical. The Lord said, the people that hate your guts, I'm going to put over you to rule over you. But when we speak truth, they say, y'all speaking hate. The Lord said, I'm going to let the people that hate you rule over you. That's why they were able to do the thing that they were doing and be able to go to sleep at night. Think about it. Who else will have celebrations on Sundays when they get out of church, so-called Christians, and go have a party hanging one of us? They out there in they so-called Sunday's best, hanging one of us, taking pictures. It's in your history books. Look it up. Killing and burning and raping your people and able to go to sleep at night. The Lord said, I'm going to let them people that hate you reign over you, rule over you. That's why they don't have no problem setting up abortion clinics in your neighborhood, in our neighborhood. The more of them they set up, the more of us we kill. That's the less amount of our people they got to deal with. Think about this.
Bring it out.
The Lord said, because you don't want to hearken to my commandments, I'm going to set up the people that hate you to rule over you. And you shall be slain before your enemies. That's why nothing happens when they gun us down and kill us. When they lock us up falsely in prison. We in there 30, 35 years for lies. They know it was a lie. They was all in cahoots together. Stealing all your dreams and aspirations that you had to live for in life. But yet and still we say, they not all like that. But they working together. Just like Muhammad Ali said, hey, if you say it's 10,000 snakes outside, and 1,000 of them good, well, I'm supposed to leave the door open so that 1,000 to come in and fight for them 10,000? No, that's foolishness. The Lord says separate from your enemies. But here in this society, we fighting hard to be amongst them. We trying to assimilate with our enemies. Not even knowing who they truly are, what their mindset is. But the Bible speaks about all of that. But we don't read it. Even though we in church hopping up and down, skipping and hopping and giving all this money to be lied to, we don't know who we are, what we supposed to be doing. Everything is out of order. The whole world is out of order because God's chosen people, the sons of God, the Israelites that the Bible speaks of, are out of order. Give me that in Psalms 82. You right there? I'll pay. That's the spirit.
The Psalms 82.
Verse 5.
Verse 5. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness.
Our people walking around right now in darkness, even though the sun's still out. Everybody see what's going on, but the Lord said we walking around in darkness. Read.
All the foundations of the earth.
Some of them.
All the foundations of the earth.
Are what?
Are out of course.
Are out of course, out of order. Everything in this earth is out of order. Think about it. A man can actually marry another man, and that's cool. In this society. A woman can lay down with another woman, and that's cool. In this society. Men that feel like little kids inside, they can go marry a little kid. That's cool in this society. Everything is out of order here in this society.
Bring it out.
The whole earth is out of order.
I'll get justice.
Think about that. But we ain't got no understanding right now. What's the precept I had you hold? Bring it out. Start it off. Yeah, bring it out. Ezekiel.
You want Ezekiel what?
23 and 28.
All right.
Ezekiel chapter 23, verse 28.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 23 and verse 28. For thus said the Lord God.
Say what?
For thus said the Lord God.
You see, this ain't our words. Read.
Behold, I will deliver thee into the hand of them whom thou hatest.
The Lord said he going to deliver us into the hand of them whom we hate. Read.
Into the hand of them whom thy mind alienated.
Get the phone, bro. Read Psalms 82 and 5 again.
Psalms 82 and 5. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness.
Read.
All the foundations of the earth are out of course.
Read.
I have said, ye are gods.
What the Lord say?
Ye are gods.
That's one thing we don't understand. We run around saying we kings, but the Lord said what?
Ye are gods.
Ye are gods. Read.
And all of you are children of the Most High.
You see that? Right. That's an Israelite for you right there. That's who he talking to. Read.
But ye shall die like men.
But what?
But ye shall die like men.
But you shall die like men, like these other nations. You gonna die on the bottom of society just like these other nations. Not knowing who you are, lost, confused, beat, battered. Because you don't want to follow the commandments of the Most High God. Because we as a nation don't want to follow the commandments. Every society, every business that you can think of, every sport, every educational facility, guess what? They all got rules to be followed. You got instructions on how to live life. Why we don't want to follow it? But we'll follow all the rules for that recipe to make that cheesecake or that pound cake. Think about that. We'll follow those rules to a T. But when it comes down to living your life right correctly, as a man, as a true woman, we don't understand these things. We turn away from it. We say it's hard. It don't make no sense for me. And then you wonder why evil things keep happening to you. It's because we ain't keeping the commandments. Read that again out of Ezekiel. This is the reason why. Ezekiel 23 and 28 and 29.
Ezekiel 23 and 28.
Yeah.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 23, verse 28. For this saith the Lord God, behold, I will deliver thee into the hand of them whom thou hatest, into the hand of them from whom thy mind is alienated.
He said he's going to deliver us into the hand of those whom our mind is alienated, meaning separate from. We don't think like them and they don't think like us.
Right.
But the Lord said, I'm going to deliver you into their hand anyway. Read.
Verse 29. And they shall deal with thee hatefully.
And they shall what?
And they shall deal with thee hatefully.
And they will deal with us hatefully. Read.
And shall leave thee naked and bare. And the nakedness of thy whoredoms shall be discovered, both thy lewdness and thy whoredoms.
You see that right there? Our people still rejecting the word of the Lord.
You know?
Still rejecting the word of the Lord. To do what? Your heart is in your mind, sister. When you read the scriptures, that's where your thoughts come from, your heart. The so-called white man told you your heart is in your chest. The Bible says your heart is your mind. Think about that. That's why I destroyed the earth in the beginning. He said because the thoughts of man's heart is continually evil. Ain't nothing in the heart of your chest but blood pumping.
Right.
Your thoughts don't happen though. The actions don't start though. They start in your mind. Every action starts in the mind.
Right.
So the scriptures let you know what everything is. But your enemy trying hard day in and day out to keep you confused and divided and destroyed. Bring it out.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12 and verse 10. Never trust thine enemy.
Do what?
Never trust thine enemy.
Never trust thy enemy. That's a commandment right there. Never trust your enemy. So stop going to get their information when you sick. They're your enemy. They ain't gonna tell you how to save yourself. They ain't gonna tell you who you are truly. They ain't gonna give you the right education. The Lord said, do not trust your enemy. Even though they pat you on the back and open the door for you, smile at you when you come in a restaurant, they still your enemy.
Right.
Think about that. Hell, when the last time you put some of your people on a damn slave ship and sent them somewhere? When the last time you harmed your own people? No, you ain't never did that. But you'll look at your own people as an enemy. But you'll look at the same ones who was raping and robbing and hanging you alive, and then now they your friends. They ain't like that no more. You need to ask the question, well, why were they like that in the times of old? Why did they have that mindset? Why did they think they could do that to you and nobody else? Why is it that they got away with it? Why is it that we still fighting for civil rights and civil justice, civil unrest? Why are you still doing it? Why you got to fight for your right to be a human being? Ain't nobody else doing it. Why we got to do it? Because you have enemies. They are your enemies. It don't matter if they let you come to the house and watch the game. They still your enemy. Still your enemy. Even though they might smile in your face, buy you a meal, they might even help you pay a bill. Guess what? They still your enemy. But you don't see that here. You've been brainwashed in society to think so. Now to understanding truly what's going on. Bring it up.
Never trust thine enemies, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness.
Just like when iron rusts, that's the same way his wickedness is of your enemies. Read.
Though he humble himself,
Though what?
though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust has not been altogether wiped away.
You see that? The Lord is comparing your enemy's wickedness to rust in a pan. To rust. You can clean that pan as many times as you want to, put some oil in it, try to get it to disappear. Guess what?
Still there.
It's still there. Give it some time. It's going to show and reveal itself. Let that air hit it. That rust going to appear again.
Right.
Same way your enemies is. They might be sweet talking you right now, giving you the benefit right now, but give it some time. That rust, that evil, that wickedness going to shine through from your enemies.
Still there.
It's still there.
Ain't going nowhere.
The Lord said, take heed of your enemies.
Right.
You need to be studying them the same way they study you. Study us. Why you think majority of our people mindset is gone right now? All we thinking about is getting money. We'll kill ourselves and we'll kill our brothers just to get some money. Neglect our families. Neglect anything that's morally right to chase after money. And they haven't figured that out. They riding our backs with this damn stick with the carrot head on the end of it.
Right.
Telling us which way to go. We'll do anything for their money. Ain't got no standards. None. A man to go sleep with another man, then go lay down with his wife. Ain't no standards.
Oh, how much?
Sleeping and laying down, having sexual acts with animals.
No.
No standards. Kill his own people, sell dope to his own mom just to get ends meet. Ain't no standards. Ain't no morals. What are we standing for? What are we living for? Vanity. These are the things that we have to hear. That's why the Lord said, go out to the highways and byways and show my people where they going off.
That's right.
Even though we know we need to hear this, we don't want to hear it. Correction is a moral to us. You know? We don't like to be corrected. Give me Sirach chapter 10, verse 9. Sirach 10 and 9. We do not like to be corrected. And then some individuals will say you prideful. Behind it. When you're trying to correct somebody, they say you prideful. Bring it up.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 10, verse 9. Why is earth and ashes proud?
What the Lord say?
Why is earth and ashes proud?
How in the hell you on the bottom of society and you proud? You earth and ashes. You on the bottom right now. How in the hell could you possibly be proud? What are you proud of?
Bring it out.
Oh, I can dunk a basketball. I can run a football. I can rap. That's where your glory come from. That's your honor as a people. How can you be prideful over that? That's childish when you think about it, but that's all we got to look up to. We don't know our real history. We don't know who we are, what we supposed to be doing. So we'll chase any damn thing trying to find something to look up to. Our glory, our icons, our idols, the people we look up to is Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, NFL players. That's all we look up to, rappers. They ain't never did nothing for the people. But yet it's still, that's our hope. That's what we trying to be like in life. I want to be like Mike. The hell with Mike. Mike ain't doing nothing for the people. Nothing. He won't speak up for you, he won't do nothing. But we idolize him. We gonna have debates. Don't even know Mike invested in prison to lock your ass up, to lock us up.
Bring it out.
Don't know nothing about what's going on, but we idolizing these people. The only reason they in the position that they in is because the enemy put them there.
Right.
The enemy said, if you continue to mislead your people, I'll make you a billionaire. That's how they got there. That's how Oprah got there. She ain't did nothing for the people either. You get a car, but you destroyed the household. You turned the woman against the man. Foolishness. Witchcraft at its finest, but we don't pay attention to these things. We celebrate them. We rejoice over these people. We glorify them. Yeah, still that woman a billionaire, ain't got no kids, no husband, none of that. What example is she showing you? How to be independent? How to do it on your own? No family. She ain't teaching you nothing about structure, none of that. But these are the people that we idolize. Yet and still, she still go through the same problem that we go through. She go overseas trying to shop. We don't want you in here. We don't want you buying our product. But I'm Oprah. I don't give a damn who you is. Look it up. Bring it up. Is there more on that?
Yes. There is not a more wicked thing than a covetous man.
The Lord said it ain't nothing more wicked than a covetous man. Read.
For such a one setteth his own soul to sell.
He sell his own soul. Think about that. Just to get some money. Just to live in a so-called prosperous lifestyle. Read.
Because while he liveth, he casts away his bowels.
Because while he living, he cast away everything that made him. Think about that. That's what we all do, ain't it? You get some money, you move out of the neighborhood you grew up in. You turn away from the church you grew up in. You get away from them schools that you used to go to. To go do what? Try to live in a better